Hello and welcome. Today you're going to just see me lightly begin to colour in with my watercolours a very light layer. All I'm going to be doing is adding a soft hue to the background of the card. Now, I showed you this in my Facebook group recently, and basically I wanted to highlight to you that one of my cards I've created has a black and white drawing, and this is the black and white drawing, and all I'm going to do today is gently add some colour. And what I'm trying to show here is that if you can try and keep your brush stroke light and soft, it stops that mark. So if you get that mark, the gathering of water, tap it on your little piece of towel and just wipe it away, like I've got some there, unless of course you want it as more of a shadow. But initially I want to add a very light tone, so I'm going very gently with my brush so that I can just get a gentle likeness of a colour of wood going through the design. Now, don't be surprised when you've finished that it will still look rather flat, but that's when the next layers come in. So I'm sticking with the one colour for the moment so that I don't mix too many colours together and make my brush grubby. Now, of course, you can turn your piece of card around or your drawing around and feel more comfortable by positioning the paper so that you can paint more freely. You see how light that's going on? Now, here is quite deep, so I'm going to gently agitate it with a tap of water. And see if it pulls up. Now, this card is not watercolour card, so it's not going to generate the same. And the gouache I'm using today isn't the watercolour that I usually use. It is a brand new set from Caran d'Ache, and I am experimenting with these main 5 palette colours. So you've got like a beautiful cerulean type blue, a lovely crimson red, a deeper blue, a lovely sap green, and a little grubby yellow. And that's because I mixed it on the palette, and I should have mixed it on my actual palette plate, which I have beside me. So I do apologise for that. So we've got green on my brush at the moment, and I want to just delicately add it. And on this occasion, I don't mind if it mounts a little bit. So do you see what we're doing? We're just literally going in very soft and very fine using the tip of a round brush. This round brush actually came with the set, and I like to keep my brushes separate from my watercolours. I wanted a bit of a hue there, so I've let that happen. Now this time I'm going to show you how little I used of that palette. You saw that, and I've placed it on my side palette so I can just let it rest. And it doesn't need any extra water, but it's got an awful lot in there. So I'm going to just tap it where I want it. Slide the brush stroke where I want it. Now, over here it's very fine, so I'm lifting my brush so I don't go over. Now gouache is a little bit more opaque, so when you want something lighter, you need to go into it. While you're doing it, I find it's much easier to get a blend from light to dark. You can see I've pushed the pigment down. It looks so soft. And that's how I continue with my watercolouring.